So, we are here to report on day 3 what's happening in the research tents. You all, I decided to go ahead and integrate some of the skills that I have as a researcher into the work of gardening. And I am excited because I'm going to be measuring some things this winter. Observational research requires you observing a thing and a particular variables and what's happening in their environment. And so I am looking at measuring several things. And so I'm going to be taking you on a journey today into the tents to see what's happening. So, in our original research tent, the research goal is, can I grow summer crops all winter? That's the question that I'm trying to answer. Can I grow summer vegetables, summer crops all winter in several mediums? Okay, so we're going to take you on the inside of the grow tent, talk about some of the interventions we've already done, what steps we're going to be taking next, and then I will report on them, right? And so that's what observation is all about. This is going to be longitudinal because it's going to take us through the winter, so that's almost 90 plus days, right, to see if these vegetables will survive using particular interventions. Okay, the first intervention is the grow tent, right? I was able to purchase what I made last year. What I made last year looked similar to this. Let me show you. So let's go. Let me show you what I made last year, and then I'll show you what I purchased this year. So this is what I made last year. I took a tent and I covered it and I kept food in it, but I did it over there. So that was my very first tent area, right, that I made and covered. It did okay. It got a lot of wind, so it had a hard time. But the banana is still living. So it's a testimony that even though the frost came to that area, the banana survived and it grew to almost 15 feet tall. You can see right here that that's truth, because you can observe with your own eyes, right? Now, this year, I am I have purchased a tent that they actually make. A tent that they actually make that serves the same purpose as what I was trying to do over there last year. Now, let's talk about what's happening here and what we're looking at. We're talking about a tent that is already built for what I want, is to overwinter, cover crops, all the things. This is made of very durable. When I say durable, it's very durable. This area by the door is double lined, which is very interesting. Not sure why it's double lined, but it's cool. It attaches here with Velcro at the top, so you have your top covering, which is insulated. And I love that because even the bees are living in there, right? It gets good sunlight. And the outside plastic is this thing zippers, so it zippers off. In the summer months, you can take these panels off on each side. So each side has a panel like this. Two of them have zippered screens. This is screen 1 and screen 2 on the other side. Opposite sides simply have windows. So we'll go inside. The opposite side has windows just to get air. And I love that because I'm opening the windows today. That's the intervention today. We've opened the screen to the screen, and we've opened the windows. One window we've opened. This one is not open. This is my sun side, really, really high sun. So I'm going to leave it closed off. But as long as these plants are getting air, air is circulating through here, they will probably continue to thrive. On the other side of this tent, actually, I said we have another door. It's a screen door. Okay, so we talked about that, the screen door. All right, and let's go on the other side. And again, this is very, very durable plastic. So this is not sponsored by these people. I just happened to purchase it. I saw Lead Farmer talking about it, and I purchased it because it was very similar to what I did last year. And I was just like, wow, somebody actually made one. Like, I made one out of plastic, but somebody actually made one that actually fits. That's a framed, right? And so here we have the window. You zipper it. You can pull up the panel, the window panel, and you still have a screen, and it zippers, and it velcros at the bottom. So I absolutely love the concept. So it gets good airflow, and again, it has zippers on each side, so you can literally take the panels off. If you don't want all the panels, you can take one off. You can take two off. You can take three off, or four. Now, the other tent, just so you understand what I'm observing, this is observation tent number 1. This is observation tent number 2, right? This is observation tent number 2. It is another tent, just like that one, frame, and that was in the back of the garden. So I took it and said, I want to cover my tomatoes that are in the ground. So the tomatoes in there are in bags. The tomatoes out here are still in the ground. So I want to observe these tomatoes to see how long they can last in the ground in this observation makeshift tent that I have created. Now there's a couple more things we're going to be looking at in this tent. We're going to also be looking at the overwintering of my mandarin orange, which it died in the frost last year, but it came back. So it came back. I don't want the frost to touch it again this year, so I've gone ahead and I've insulated it with a cage, tomato cage, and I wrapped plastic around it, and I also put bubble wrap at the base to keep this plastic, or the bottom safe from a lot of air. So that's also in this observation tent number 2. Also in observation tent number 2 is the lime in ground. I only have one citrus tree that is in the ground this year, and that's this one. It has done absolutely amazing. It's got so much fruit on it, so many flowers, and my hope is that it will continue to thrive. But just in case, I'm going to be wrapping it just like this, so that it can continue to bloom, and that if the frost comes, it won't hit it. Because also we have this covering, so we're going to put double covering on some things to see if we can't keep them alive. So I am just testing some things to see what works. Then we have observation tent number 3, which is my original greenhouse. Now, in this greenhouse, the intervention is I added the grow houses inside. So I'm reinforcing my ability to grow here by putting in these grow houses. These are standalone grow houses. Standalone grow houses. But I wanted to give them some extra warmth if it gets really, really cold. I wanted to give it some extra warmth in case it gets really, really cold. Now, the thing about these is you have to keep them clean. You have to go in and wipe them down to make sure the mold spores, things don't just start growing, right? Because you don't want to have mold spores on your food. All right, so we're time for cleaning because everything is aerated in here. It smells just like fish emulsion. And we get good sun. So this time of day we get really good sun right about 12. Right about, 11 to 12ish. And we have two things in here, two outdoor summer plants that are in here that we're going to watch. And the summer plants that are in here are again peppers and tomatoes. Now, we did give some intervention to this plant yesterday. We pulled back its leaves, made sure it wasn't focusing on, you know, growing leaves at the base. So we did that. I'm probably going to cut that off because it looks like it's a branch that's got something going on. We're probably going to take that off. But we did that so that we can get the fruit to happen here. All right. We got fruit going on here. We got new fruit, possible fruit there. We've got a ton of fruit coming in over here. Can you see that? And fruit is coming up on these plants. So this is observation tent number 3. Um, we have a pepper in here, 2 peppers, and we're going to watch these as well. So these are already fruiting, and we love that. We got new blooms, so new things are occurring here. Let's see if we can see that. Yep. We have new blooms here, and we have another tomato here. We're going to stake this. We're going to stake it, and looks like we got a new bloom coming, a new pepper coming in right there. So we're going to stake these and see how they do. We also have in this pot some lettuce. Lettuce does not like heat. I just put it in here to see if it would, I just was dropping some seeds, y'all, because I believe in planting some seeds every single day. All right, so. That's the name of the game. So let's go into tent number 1 because I want to record what is happening in tent number 1 today. All right, so we're going to go into tent number 1 and see what's happening over there. We're going to start from the back because there's a pepper I want you to see. We'll talk about these peppers and tomatoes because they are a major part of, they are summer crops. Remember, we're measuring the summer crops. All right, so let's go to our pepper from yesterday. We talked about this pepper from yesterday. I moved it to the front so I can get some easy access to it. This was the one that had the pepper that was growing so nicely. And what I've noticed today is more blooms. I mean, not blooms, but actual fruit production. So we have more fruit production down in there. Let's see, right? Let's see. Can't see it from that angle. Right there. Where is it? Okay, I can't see it from that angle, but right here. Right there. If you can see that little one. We have more fruit here. We have more fruit here and more blooms. So we have given this plant some yesterday's intervention was the yeast fertilizer, because yeast fertilizer does well, forces blooms on your fruiting vegetables, your flowering vegetables, which would be things like your tomatoes, your peppers, and things like that. So we gave this plant some yeast yesterday, some yeast fertilizer. Now, what I also want you to see is, let's look at these tomatoes. Then I'm gonna actually harvest a few things. These are, we said we were going to be looking at things that that cannot tolerate the frost. This is our, looking at it, it looks really good. This is basil. This is a tree. It literally, my basils turned into trees this year. They did really, really well. So they are looking good, nice and rich and green. Over here, more basil. It's continuing to grow. We're getting new leaves. I pinch off the flowers to keep them from growing, or keep them from flowering, so we can see if we can just, maybe they can get as tall as I am. You never know, because guess what? If you look at this plant, it's to my waist already. So I love that for me. Yep. So let's go to this tomato. Tomato plants are looking good. Yesterday, again, I gave them the fertilizer. I gave them the yeast fertilizer. So we're going to come in today and we're going to, prune it back a little bit, take off some of the leaves. The goal is to keep these things looking beautiful, keep them fruiting, flowering, and fruiting. And so this is the exploratory tent number one, observational tent number one that we're looking at right now. This is, again, more tomatoes. And we got new flowers. So we have new flowers on this one. This is just since yesterday. We got new flowers. We have new flowers here. Oh, look at that. And we have more fruit. So we got more fruit growing there as well. This one has never fruited before. And so, but look, we got, if you can see it, you can see that it's about to do something. So I'm excited. That's a new one. That's a baby. This is an older one, and it is fully loaded, and it's heavy. It's heavy, heavy, heavy. Again, these were all given the fertilizer, the yeast fertilizer. We got new buds, we got new flowers, we have new tomatoes growing as well. You can see here, more flowers, just beautiful. And this is a part of that same plant with all the leaves, all the new flowers that are coming in. This is a great, I love it. This is doing very, very well. This is one of our avocado plants that does not do well in the frost, because they say you can't grow avocados in zone 8, but baby, I'm growing avocados in zone 8. Now, will they survive the frost? They will not. So this tent is a great place to have them. I think we've got a worm in here, though. I think we've got a hornworm somewhere, because if that is what I think it is, we've got a hornworm somewhere. So I'm gonna need to be on the lookout before it devours the plant. I don't know where this was originally, because I've been moving things around. So I might run into a problem because if these can live, we know that moths will lay that hornworm moth. Those moths will lay. Oh yeah, there's been something, because that is sassafras right there. So something's been in here laying something, and we're gonna take that off. We'll come back and clean those plants up. But something has been laying something, because I am seeing the evidence. Okay, so let's move on. Like I said, we are also growing avocados. They're getting bigger. This one's in a really small pot, so we're going to transfer her to a bag so she can has more room to spread and grow because it's too look like it's growing a very, very sturdy vine here. Very, very strong base. So we want it to grow as much as possible over the winter because this is actually year 4 for it. I mean, this upcoming on year 4, it hasn't grown much, but perhaps it's because I didn't give it much. So again, it's really about the intervention that we give to our plants to help them thrive. Also, at the base of these plants, we have veggies. We have some green veggies growing as well, and then and this one has lots of plants going on in it. It's got tomatoes, it's got basil, it has greens. Yeah, so it's got a lot going on. All right, let's pop on over here to let's see. Look at those. You see those little babies down there? Look, little babies growing down there. Y'all see them? So this is, they're heavy feeders. They're doing well. I am so incredibly proud of the progress. This is a plant full of tomatoes. And it's leaning against the plastic. I'm hoping that it doesn't get so cold. The plastic doesn't get so cold that it freezes the tomatoes. So we are going to come back and give this a little air later on. I'm going to have to make sure I keep them, give them lots of air. But anyway, this is the what's happening in observation tent number 1. Okay, so these leaves are doing better, y'all. Yesterday, what we noticed was we had a bunch of yellow leaves. We also gave this plant yeast as an intervention, yeast fertilizer. It looks like a leaf cutter has been in here cutting up. Cutting up. So the only way we know what's happening is we have to pull some things to see, just to check things out. We know, document it, and then come back and maybe check it out. So, but will there be a difference? You won't know except you provide an intervention. So today we are going to pop off these, bad leaves and see what's happening. See if there is something in this tent that's getting at these leaves. That's what we have to do. All right, so now the citrus is looking beautiful. We have one that's still struggling just a little bit with its coloration, and we're not sure why. We're gonna just keep our eye on it. Uh, this one is doing well, like I said, but this one here, even though it was cut up, this is a lemon, briar lemon, and it is now turning yellow. It's ripening, so I'm excited, super excited about that. Um, this is the clementine. It's got plenty of fruit, but its color, I'm a little worried about it because we transplanted this. And whenever you transplant something, it goes through shock, but the fruit is still there. Ain't nothing happening with this fruit. This fruit is still there, so we're gonna see. There's also some little buggies in there. I don't know what kind of bug that is, but it's in here. Let's go over here to this. I don't know. We may do this observation maybe 3 days a week to give it a chance to see if there's any difference. So we don't have to do it every day. So we will do maybe a couple of days observations or maybe twice a week so we can measure what is happening. Um, so these have a couple of leaves that are, having a little bit of a struggle, but look at what we got. This is a lemon, Mexican lemon, I believe. No, lemon. Yeah, it's a Meyer lemon. So this is another Meyer lemon. Yesterday we only had one bloom on this one trumpet on here, and today we're having two. Looks like we've got more growth. This is a annual, and because we are measuring annuals as well and tropicals, because these do not survive the frost. They just will not. They will die. Um, the other thing is the sereno peppers, and they are getting new leaves. Like we talked about that yesterday, the new leaves that they were getting, and so they're doing really well. We're going to cover this because this is we don't want this one to bloom. We want it to go ahead and lie dormant. Um, let's go over here though. I want you to see this. I want you to see these peppers here because we're going to harvest these because this plant is loaded with peppers right here. We're gonna take them. Are they ready? No, they're not. They're not coming off easily, so maybe they aren't. Well, we're going to give them a couple days because they actually are really loaded back there. It's fully loaded plant. It's growing all the way out. Yeah, that's it. It's a lot going on that plant. And so, yeah, so this is tent number 1. Observation tent number 1 is doing well. New growth, new blooms, new flowers, increased darkening of the leaves. And let's go over now to observation tent number 2. Okay. And observation tent number 2. Yesterday we had jasmine too, y'all. Y'all see that? The jasmine is growing and blooming. It's winter time. Not winter, fall, but they're growing. They're getting taller, new leaves. I love that. Jasmine is a powerful plant. It's an evergreen, and it bears and bears and bears. This is observation tent number 2, and we're going to walk inside. This is the one I covered yesterday, so my intervention was to cover this with plastic so that the sun could get through. It could still get sun. It could get air. And we're going to walk in here so I can show you what's happening. This is a low tunnel, so I have to get down in here. So I want to show you what's happening. We also have kale in here. Kale will do well in the winter time, but these tomatoes will die. But we're looking for something different this year. So again, we have tomatoes. We have potential blooms. We gave it air. Oh wow, look at there. We got more flowers, more tomatoes. We're just gonna walk through this one. Let's see what we can see what's happening with this plant. Oh, look at there. Look at there. This is a beefsteak, you guys. So we're gonna come in today and remove some of these leaves, and we're gonna report back. Look, we have more leaves there. We also have a ton of marigolds that are protecting this plant from bugs. All right, let's go over here. I need to have something to support me coming through here because this is very hilly. All right, let's see what's happening with this one. This one has some fruit as well. Yep, it does. It's got just a little. It's got some fruit coming. This one is leaning a little, so it's wrapped up over here with this second one just to make sure that. Oh, but it's got some new blooms. Look, it's got new flowers. You see that? New flowers. New flowers. It's very green. Potential blooms. This is 3 plants. 3 plants that we're watching here in the green. Actually, 4. There's 4. Here's another one. Oh, wow. Look at all those blooms up there. Y'all see that? Or potential flowers everywhere. So we're going to keep our eye on this one. It is in the ground. It's fully mulched. It's fully mulched. We're probably going to put some more mulch on it. Yes, because the goal is to protect the floor from the cold. And also this 4th plant over here, we're watching these. So they're very green. They're very heavy and very, very green, and more flowers are coming. We're just going to keep our eye on it, you know. And like I said, we have our uh, Mexican lime bush, and it is fully, it's got so many blooms on it. So, but it won't survive the frost. It's in the ground. So these plants are in the ground. Just so you know, under this tent, observation tent number 2, these plants are in the ground. So that's the difference between this tent and tent number 1. These are in the ground and those are in bags. So that's the main difference for those. Now we already saw in tent number 3, I was just really just wanted to explain to you all what we are observing and why. What is the difference between the plants? What is the difference? And I think I've already showed you tent number 3, which the intervention here is the extra layer. So we have an extra layer. Greenhouse standalones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 standalone tents here inside of a tent. So that's the intervention here. So just so you know. All right, we're not gonna keep this live going. We're gonna go and see what's happening, so you can see what's growing and how it's doing real quick. We're gonna do our walkthrough. We still have plants trying to flower and bloom. Our Lacianato kale is doing its thing. I'm really excited. Everything looks so super good. Our pollinator garden is still here, even though the bees are dying away. There's still a few bees, though, like that one. Like that one that's after me. Oops. Woo. He was after me. I don't know whether it's this yellow on my hat or what, but baby, I almost fell. Maybe I need to stay away from the pollinator garden. Let me go through, because you know they dying away right now, and some of them will sting you. I got stung once already. This is my evergreen side, and we do have lettuce, kale, lettuce and broccoli. No, lettuce and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts in this bed. This is another pollinator garden. There's not much over here. There's some tomatoes outdoors, but they're probably, if I keep them covered, we're going to see. There's a covering that I put out on it every single night. These are bags. Lots of bags going on back here. Walk through. Lots and lots of kohlrabi, greens. Everything started so small, but things are really going well. They're getting height. Broccoli. This is cabbage. These are cabbage. These are greens. This is cauliflower. No, this is broccoli. This is broccoli. This is greens. And then we're just checking out our beds to see how they're doing. This is a walkthrough I do every day to see what else I need to do. This is looking vibrant. We're going to cut back these okra. I think I'm going to do that today because I think they are spent. They've lost all their leaves. I'm just going to let it take over, let the greens take over. Yeah, things are looking spiffy. That's the orchard. It's still real green up in there. We're going to come back to that. The blueberries, we put 2 blueberries together here. We put 2 blueberries together there. This is a beautiful tree that will bloom in the spring. It's starting to get new leaves. It suffered transplant shock. So now it's getting new leaves. It is an evergreen, so I expect it to do well. These are mulberries. They will get fruit on them in the spring. So we're gonna see how that works. Asparagus, the leaves are falling. I love that for me. So we're gonna have lots and lots and lots of leaves out here in this area because that's my beautiful trees. In the fall, in the spring, they drop off all of these seed pods, but in the winter, fall, they drop all their leaves. So many beautiful resources out here, and this is my azalea area, so it's really beautiful in the summer, in the spring. This is broccoli, cabbage, and spinach going on in this bed. It's new, it's very young, and I just uncovered them. The sun is getting to them. They probably get a little droopy, but we're not giving it any water because they have had a lot of water. We've had a lot of rain, so this is all cabbage. We did plant some new figs over here. Let's see how they're doing because we just planted these yesterday. Mr. Gecko, you see Mr. Gecko climbing over there? I'm going to have to harvest all of these acorns as well. I have an acorn tree. This is it. And I mean, it drops acorns. It drops so many acorns, but we're going to get those up because the chickens can eat those as well. And plus you can make acorn flour out of them. But these are looking good. Even got a new leaf, so they don't look like they're having transplant struggles. All right. This is my potato bed. Looks like it's about ready for me to dig them up. But again, I said I was going to wait the week out to see. But I think it's time to go in and think about what we're going to plant in this bed as well. So let's go over to the orchard. See what's happening in there. We still have our roselle, guys. We had a lot of rain. I'm going to start pulling the leaves off of these because the leaves are also very good as spinach, like spinach. So we want to get these leaves off before they are affected by the weather or any pests pressure. So we're going to start harvesting those leaves and wash them, and so we can eat them because these leaves are, every part of this plant is edible, every single part. So we're going to get these leaves off of here. We planted 3 more figs over here. This year's fig harvest was amazing. We're going to get that leaf off of there because these leaves suffered some sort of disease. So we want to make sure we don't let that go into the soil. That's a new fig back there. We got 3 new figs in town. We actually still getting some new leaves on these figs, which I'm kind of surprised, but we're gonna take as good of care of these plants as we can. We don't want diseased leaves to go into the soil, like I said. So this is either mold or, powdery mold, mildew or something that's on the leaves of these plants. So we're gonna get them off. We're not gonna let it live here. We're gonna take good care, and I'm gonna come back and give you some tips on what the research says about caring for a fig, in the preparing for the fall, preparing for the winter. I think is the goal. Make sure that we're doing what we can to keep our plants healthy. My goal is nursery, so we are going to be practicing as such. Yes, I have some sniffles, guys. Okay, it is doing fine. This fig is doing fine. It had a leaf on here that wasn't well when I planted it, so we're gonna take it off. but it's not suffering any transplant shock. It's doing good. We're going to take all these spotted leaves off. Anything spotted, not looking healthy, we are taking off of these plants. We don't want it to contaminate the other leaves, so we're going to take them off. Okay, that's what we do. We want to give our plants a chance to thrive. Okay, got one more over here. Looks like this is on the older plant. All right, let's take this off. Again, we are striving for healthy plants. And y'all know we got figs coming on these plants, which I think is the strangest thing. But I was looking at a show the other day where it was talking about how they will refruit, but they will drop off because of the fall, because of the time of year. It is certain figs will do that. Uh-oh. Yep, one just fell off. So that fell off because I was tampering with it. But I want to get these bad leaves off so it can start spreading. Something is spreading on them. I don't know whether it's just too wet over here or what, but we're getting these leaves off. Yeah, we're going to clean them up. You see in there? Look at those figs. Figs, figs, figs. You see them? That's a nice picture. Let me take that picture. There you go. Got it. All right. So we're just gonna do some cleanup today. We're gonna get these leaves off of here so we can eat them and harvest some more hibiscus. We'll clean up the floor. We'll clean up the floor at a later date. The goal was observation to see what we have to do. And I want to leave these up here as long as I can leave them up here because they have so much fruit on them. All right, let's go. We want to get these flowers. This is a small mini version of the what are the zinnias? Dwarf zinnias. So we want to get those two, and we want to get this ant pile down because baby, I'm about to pour. With the way I'm about to pour some hot water in that, because I do not want them traveling all over my yard. Okay, that's it for today. We're gonna close this side tent so as to not invite cats into the space. Let's go back on the other side and close it up as well. But that's our work for today. That's our observations for today. We're going to close this tent up as well. And I got to go inside and do a little work. And I will come back and do some more work. I got to go do some administrative work. But these videos are my documentation for my my research. So for those of you who don't know, we're checking to see if summer crops can live here in the winter. Can summer crops live in here in the winter? So that's where we are, everybody. We also have tomato plant right here growing on the fence line with broccoli in this bed as well. So we got a lot going on here, and we're hoping for some amazing results. And I thank you. If you like this, please like, share, subscribe so I can keep you updated on whether we can keep summer crops alive. You know, it's an exciting journey to be on. Um, I never tried before to keep them alive except for overwintering, like people folks said, and that didn't work. So today we're doing our observation tents and some other methods, and we're gonna see. It's year two of looking at whatever interventions we put in place. Last year we only had the one tent, and it did save the banana. The banana tree is, like I said, almost 15 feet tall. So you have to see it for yourself. It's 50. It's tall. It's huge. Okay, that baby is every bit 15, with its leaves spreading upward. Every bit 15 feet tall. So let's be vigilant about growing food in this time. We can have exactly what we grow. We will have exactly what we try to grow. So let's make it happen. I think I'm going to go in here and get some fresh eggs and some fresh kale. Let me see if we got eggs this morning while I'm out here. Y'all begging again? Y'all just ate. they, they just want to eat. They want me to come get them. They think I'm going to give them a trick. They're going to trick me. Want to trick me to giving them more food. No more food. That's it. And what did y'all do? Y'all stepping on. Y'all doing something crazy in there. Got to get them another pan in there. A couple pans. Let's go see what's happening in here. This is their little play. This is their home and their safe place from the cats. From the cats. Oh, there are no eggs this morning. Maybe that's what they want to do. And lay eggs. Because there are no eggs this morning. Which is interesting because I had 4 yesterday. All right, so no eggs this morning. Not yet anyway. No eggs today. If I leave them out there long enough, they will. That's why I put another little place out there for them to lay. They like it when they're outside. So that's it for the day. That's all we have, folks. This is Dr. Eve. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please follow us as we journey into answering the question whether we can grow these summer crops through the winter. So until next time, have the most amazing day. Bye for now.